are here today with a very special shoe. My name is Mr. Movie X6. If you guys are new to the channel, I generally review when I'm reviewing anime reviews, sneaker reviews, movies, video games. So if you like anything of those nature, please think about subscribing to the channel. Give me a like and a subscribe. I would highly appreciate that. But nevertheless, this is going to be a very happy and excited review that I'm about to give to you guys. This is a very special shoe because I went to this college, a historically black college, and for us to get our own shoe from Nike and it being a Dunk, it's just a very special thing that I don't think a lot of people understand the gravity that goes into a shoe like this. But I have a couple queries, not with the shoe, but with the release of the shoe, far as a particular boutique down here that did them last Friday. Is a very popular boutique called Wish Atlanta who did a awful release of this shoe, and it really made me upset. I wasn't able to get, not only because I wasn't able to get the shoe, because of how they released the shoe. They did it. I called them several times, say, hey, how are you going to release it? They waited until, they told us everything posted on Monday, and then they waited until Friday at 9 o'clock to say they were only releasing it on campus of Clark Atlanta for the Clark Atlanta students, and the alums like myself had to email their diploma from 9 a.m. to noon to enter in a raffle to get them. So I blasted them on social media saying how that was kind of disrespectful to the alums, how we weren't able to go get the shoes as well. And you have a lot of these kids who haven't earned their stripes to get these shoes. That really made me upset, and I blasted Wish out online. They ended up blocking me. So, but I got them for retail. Thank you to, I want to spend a special shout out to the Athlete's Foot here in Atlanta. I love your organization. It's such a great positive. They've been doing a lot of things. They've been in the city for a very long time. They have multiple locations. Please support them. It's owned by solely a black owner as well. Wish is not. So just throwing that one out there. Now, first thing you'll notice is the box. That's one thing I can appreciate about this shoe, is that usually with these Dunks we get an orange box, and it's very plain. But this, it comes in a black box, and it has the Yard Runners. Now, I think that's kind of basically short for Stomp the Yard. Now, Clark Atlanta actually was founded in essentially 1865, but it consolidated in 1988, becoming Clark Atlanta. It is the first Southern college or university for a HBCU. An HBCU, if you don't know, is a historically black college, and the magnitude for us to get this shoe kind of first, and there are 4 different silhouettes. I know a FAMU, I think TSU, and there's I'm not for sure what the other rendition is. The best of the bundle, not only because I went to Clark Atlanta, but this shoe gives so much detail about Clark as a whole. And also a student actually that went to Clark designed these shoes. Every detail, my new detail I'm about to get into, is gonna really blow you guys. Okay, and as you can see, it's got black and gold, black and gray accent with the Clark Atlanta colors. Our logo is the Panther. So, but this, if I'm not mistaken, really kind of coincides with the marching band of Clark Atlanta. Is kind of a uniform, if I'm not mistaken. That's kind of where they got the color scheme from. So the red check basically coming from the Panther logo, with the black, basically like I said, our logo is the Panther. So kind of giving it that, all black with the red splash in there with the gray. I just love the colorway of this, and also the two-tone, how they switch it up. As you see in the very front, they have this side, the left has gray, and the black, and the right has the black. So just like a different, unique perspective on how to change this color blocking scheme. And also the other crazy part is the shoestrings says, which is Clark Atlanta's motto, which I just really love the fine bits of time they took to develop this. It says, now Clark Atlanta's motto is find a way or make one. And that's exactly how I was finding a way to get these shoes. I kept coming up after roadblock, but I found a way. So our motto kind of really coincide to help me this week getting on the back of the shoe. It has 1908 when Clark Atlanta, like I said, consolidated with Clark College, and they became Clark Atlanta, and in 1988. So that's also giving homage to the year that the school was actually founded. Now, if you guys don't know, Clark Atlanta is immersed in so many different arrays of movies. So many different historically famous African Americans have gone there. School Days. Yeah, School Days was shot at Clark Atlanta. And also the biggest kind of movie, kind of semi to date, that really to me took Clark Atlanta to the precipice. Like, a lot of people start learning about Clark after Drumline, which in the movie was A&T, but it was actually Clark Atlanta. That was probably one of the biggest movies to ever kind of really hype up the HBCU experience with the drum lines. It gave you that real. And also Stomp the Yard, which also was done at Clark Atlanta. So another dope thing I really love about this shoe is the Panther logo on the top of the tongue. And if you flip it around, this one says Clark College, and the other one says Clark Atlanta University. So paying homage to the original Clark, and then when it transferred to Clark Atlanta in 1988. So just the subtle details about this shoe really makes this shoe pop. And two of the last things was, one is it comes with an extra pair of laces, red shoestring laces on the side. And this is the thing to me that made this shoe really stand out. The translucent bottom, clear, like as you see the white on the sole, but it's clear, translucent on the sole, on the bottom of the shoe, with our logo, our Clark Atlanta Panther logo on the bottom of the shoe. Just a killer, this is fire. Like, that crazy detail. I'm gonna have to find a picture. I really don't want to pull these out, but I'm gonna find a picture for you guys. But the dope thing I love about this is the insoles in the shoes have the layout of Clark Atlanta's street. The streets, the Beckwith, Northside Drive, is all through the inner lining of the sole of these shoes. I mean, I'm like, that to me really killed the shoe. I'm like, everything about this shoe is amazing. A lot of shoe companies do not cater to black colleges. This is one of the first that I've ever heard that we've actually had our own shoe. So I don't think people realize the gravity of the magnitude of how big this is for us, you know, and especially for Clark Atlanta. Like, I went to Clark Atlanta, and to this day I'll go up to someone and say, hey, I went to Clark, and I've never heard of that, but they've heard of Morehouse, they've heard of Spelman, they've heard of Howard, they've heard of all these other major black colleges, but they haven't heard of Clark. So for Nike to choose our school and FAMU, and I think Texas Southern, if I'm not mistaken, and other colleges, I'll take my hat off to Nike. I salute you guys for really, you know, bringing this back to us, you know, the smaller colleges. The retail for these, like I said, it was actually only $120. I did get them for retail. Resale was going crazy for these. They were going between like $900 to $1,000 at one point. Those were the early pairs of last week, but they've recently come down to earth. So they're reselling between like $300 to $400 to $500-ish, depending on your size. But they're probably eventually definitely one of my favorite shoes of the year, for sure, if not all the time. I'm glad I got these for retail. They do come out, like I said, today. They released on a sneaker app as well. A whole bunch of raffles down here in Atlanta, Georgia for these, like I said, also for the homecoming. So without further ado, if you guys like movie reviews, sneaker reviews, things of that nature, think about subscribing to the channel. Please drop a comment and tell me what you guys think about these Clark Atlanta universities. And if you're new, I'm going to hit you with some dope on feet, of course, these bad boys.
Narco, got dope like Pablo. Cut dope like Pablo. Cut dope, shot trees with the Draco. On the north, got Diego. Say hasta luego. We'll be in rapping kilo. Snub nose with potato. Take out. No monkey in the jungle, blind hot like a sauna. Bouncing nothing, I'm trying to weave an anaconda. Jumping in the water, trying to sleep across the water. Got see cars out, got me beat by Verona. Out bag of money, knew I gotta have it. Savage, but I'm still a gentleman in Cali. Atlantic, nigga turn them in about the cabbage. Kill his whole family, they run up with the package. I just put a pack on the way to Bogota. Fuck his eyes out, and I'm telling what he saw. I'ma watch out, I don't know if he'll talk. Get a chainsaw and I'ma saw our legs off. They know that we're a gang, but they say that we'll ring. Investigating, taking pictures of the whole team. Undercover trying to do his thing. 10 mil on a bike, going straight to middle G. Trapping like the knock. Life I cannot change. It is deep off in the main. Eminem, sweet like candy cane. Drop the top, pop it, let it breathe. Been lost, been lanes, busting bills, but still ain't nothing changed. Rapping like the narco. Got dope like Pablo. Cut dope like Pablo. Chop trees with the Draco. On the north got Diego. Say hasta luego.